Welcome back, guys. This is our final video with the Eduard MiG-21 with the Icaerodesign cockpit edition. So just some final thoughts here. We've got the final build. It's all put together. Everything's painted and sealed. So I'm just going to go over a couple of points. My final thoughts on the matter. So, as we all know, Eduard makes wonderful fitting kits that go together easy, that there's really no issues with them at all on a very few amount. And this kit is no exception. This one was wonderful to put together. I had 0 to no fit issues. And it was just a really nice build to actually go ahead and do. Now, with the addition of the Icaerodesign cockpit, most of us would kind of shy away from resin cockpits, especially with the general issue of fitting them and hacking away at the stock kit to make sure it fits properly, and then using 4 million clamps to close everything up. I had no issues with this one whatsoever. Now, don't forget, I purchased this with my own money, and I bought a second one so that I can go ahead and try and modify it to fit Trumpeter's MiG-21 So there was no pressure on me whatsoever to say nice things about this. These are all true. This is probably one of the best resin cockpits I've had to work with. Just looking at it here, we'll zoom you in. I don't have the seat in it or the control stick, just to help show to you guys how nice this cockpit actually is. And this is there was no issues hacking away at the stock airframe on the fuselage sides. There was nothing of that sort. The only real modification you have to do is there's a kind of platform that attaches to the front of the additional cockpit that's actually part of the nose gear bay. There's only one cut you have to make there, and as long as you make it straight, there's no problems with fitting this in it at all. This was probably the best kit I've had to work with, and the amount of detail that you get with it as well is absolutely astounding. Where and this is in 1/48 too, and don't forget they make a 1/32 version of this as well, that I will be also getting my hands on and doing a review of. So yeah, just a great, if you want to build a Romanian LanceR C MiG-21, then this is probably a must-have, if not a necessity, in order to do one. So, top scores all around to Icaerodesign for that. Not many manufacturers can go ahead and make a resin cockpit that will fit perfectly without any modification whatsoever. You have to sand off the pour blocks, of course, because this is a resin cockpit. But if you get the mold blocks off properly, then there's really nothing else you have to do. It's almost as if it was designed by Eduard themselves to fit into the cockpit. It's beautiful. And not only does it come with the cockpit, it comes with several extra parts. So for instance, here on the nose, we've got our 2 forward RWR sensors. These nubs here. That's for the upgraded RWR system, and then we've got it at the back as well on the tail. You can just see just aft of them little antenna blades. There's a couple of those scattered around the plane as well. The avionics humps forward and aft, and then the underside here, we've got one of our larger antenna blades I believe that's for one of the UHF. I think that's the UHF radar, the Vortac, and then as well the flare and chaff dispensers here. Here at the back as well. Now these, you've got to take note that one goes a little bit forward than the other, so make sure you're checking your references there. But these fit perfectly. So did the antenna blades. No problems whatsoever with those, and it's just a little tedious, to get them all on, but in the end, it really makes, really makes the plane. This lantern pod is not with the kit. It doesn't come with the Icaerodesign kit either. That was from Hasegawa's weapons sets for 148. I believe is the Navy versions, because it is the French company that makes the pod, the Raphael Lightning pod. But that was the only extra bit that I added onto there, and I've also got some R550 magic missiles from an old Mirage kit that I'll be adding onto these at a later time. But they can carry the lantern pods, and they can carry the R27s, the R77s. So just think about what kind of aircraft you want to portray, and then you can usually go ahead and do that with some modern weapon sets as well. Now let me figure out. So the just go over the colors here. So the white is basically just a standard XF2 white. The lighter gray here was a mix of, it was a 9:4 ratio of XF66. So a 9:4 ratio of XF2 and XF66. I'll put all the ratios in the description below. So that was the lighter gray, and then the darker gray was Tamiya's dark gray, which was XF24, and that was a 1, 2, 3. That was a 2-to-1 ratio of XF2 to XF6. Oh, I forgot. So it was a 2. I'll put them down in the description below. But it was basically a mix of XF2 and XF24 dark gray. For the underside, that was a mix of 3-to-1 XF2. The kittens are playing around there. Sorry about that. So the blue on the underside here is XF2, and the blue portion of it was X14 sky blue. So that was a 3-to-1 white to blue ratio to get that. But just also note that a lot of these things were also quite heavily faded, and then some new fuel pods as well. I kind of got that going on with the fuel pod over here compared to the right side. Lightened up the right side compared to the left, and that was just part of the whole weathering process, just to get a little bit of variance going on there, just to change things up. And the same with the tailplanes too. They're a little bit of an older tailplane onto the lower fuselage. We are really going at it today. Anyways, and then there's NATO black just for the front combing here. I mixed the standard NATO black with a little drop of flat base from Tamiya, just to give it a really kind of matted down look compared to like the semi-gloss of the rest of the airframe, just to make it kind of pop. And that's pretty much it. Again, a wonderful MiG-21 kit by Eduard, mixed with the wonderful resin upgrade set from Icaerodesign. It's pretty much just an unbeatable combo. You can get standard LanceR kits, but they're not as well detailed and they're not as accurate. But for this is like a marriage made in heaven, and I can't recommend it enough, guys. So thanks for following along with the build. All of the links to the Icaerodesign website and this particular 1/48th conversion set will be in the description. I'll list the paint colors in the description as well, just in case you want to, if you don't want to make your own mixes or buy standard sets. I'll link those in there as well. What are you doing? All right. Anyways, so I'll link all those in the description below. And, again, thanks, guys, for watching. Keep your eyes peeled because we're going to be working on the 1/32nd version pretty soon. I'm just waiting for that kit to come in, and then we'll be tackling the bigger version and comparing it to the smaller guy. But for now, I'm just going to play a video slideshow of our completed build photos. And again, guys, thanks for watching, and have a good day.